right, hello wine drinking people. Today is Thursday, the 8th of November. This month is just speeding by already. It seems like, you blink your eyes and the month of November and December are gone here at the Wine Watch, but we still have a lot of great tastings coming up, including this one with Chateau Palmer just a few weeks from tonight on the 20th of November, Tuesday night, down at the Edge Steak and Bar at the Four Seasons Hotel on Brickell. And I'll never forget the Chateau Palmer tasting we did at the back room at Cafe Backs with Bernard de Laag. And Bernard's a good friend of the store, and we've had him in for the Great Wine Seminar. This tasting went back all the way to 1961. 61, a legendary vintage for Palmer. And then we had two 66s that night. Unbelievable. Most of the wines came directly from the Chateau, and one bottle, the 66, was from a collector cellar here in South Florida. And I figured, man, would it not be fun to show this wine blind against the one directly from the Chateau, just to see which one shows up better. And actually, most of the people thought the one from the cellar here in South Florida was the one direct from the Chateau, but all the wines on the table were stunning that night. And Palmer, one of my favorite chateaus in Bordeaux, and one of my favorites from Margaux, which most people don't realize. Margaux is a rather large appellation, and it's hard to find was hard to find in years past some great producers there. There were very good producers, and actually there's 21 classified gross in Margaux, more than any other appellation in the Medoc. And Margaux lies on the south end of the Medoc. It's the southernmost appellation. They could actually declassify Margaux and call it Medoc, not Au-Medoc. Au-Medoc would be further south of that. And the Medoc contains mostly Cabernet-based wine, but one of the things that gives Palmer its elegance is its concentration of Merlot in the blend. In vintages like 2009, there was more Merlot than Cabernet. And most vintages, hovers around 40% Merlot in the blend. And a very elegant wine. As I mentioned before, the greatest wine in Margaux, Chateau Margaux with that name, but next to that, right underneath it, Chateau Palmer. And those vintages in the 60s and early 70s, before the Mezzalopolis family bought Chateau Margaux, there were many people that felt Chateau Palmer even eclipsed the great Chateau Margaux. Well, this classification system in Bordeaux seems a bit ossified and needs to be updated. A lot of people have felt for years that Palmer deserved to be of first growth status. The wines were just that good. And we are going to give you some sample examples of the current releases and then some older vintages. Chef Aaron Brooks has put together an outstanding 5-course tasting menu for this dinner. And man, Aaron, you've outdone yourself again. The only thing I'm afraid is the food may outshine the wines. And usually we like to keep the food a little bit simpler, but we really want to show off what Aaron is doing down here at the Steak and Bar down at the Four Seasons restaurant. And we've got some great vintages of Chateau Palmer going all the way back to 1995. 95 and 96, two great back-to-back vintages in the 90s. And then we've got some Alter Ego. This property, like most properties, produces a second wine, and they call it Alter Ego. We're going to be showing some new releases of that, 2008 and 2005. Those of you may have heard 2005, a killer vintage in Bordeaux. And in great vintages, the second wine of these great properties can be the best value coming out of Bordeaux. And when you're talking value in Bordeaux, it's a relative term. These classified gross, the demand for them has just it's just huge all over the world today. And a lot of these vintages of Palmer, $300-$400 a bottle. We're serving you tonight dinner with tip minus tax. It's only $195, $200. You can get out of here. That's half the price of some of these bottles that we're going to be drinking. And check out the menu and the story about Chateau Palmer on this email. I'm your host, Andrew Lamposoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying, remember, always drink the good stuff first.